Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm still working on canes and I'll show you what I'm trying to accomplish. But as you know, I already showed you the focals that I got from Glasscraft, and so I'm working more on focals. So I practiced yesterday. They're not the greatest. I'm still trying to figure out how to make the shape of a lentil without literally distorting everything on it. So this was a sea turtle I did, and this sea turtle was from Eye Candy Clay, Ivy Niles on Etsy. And I had my own little, I don't know what you call it, a ghost cane. And I used the wrong combination because you can barely see the turtle. These were some more of Ivy's canes. And the reason why they don't match up is because I made this into a round ball and I just placed them everywhere and then squished it down. So now that I know that I could do it without distorting it, I'm going to try and place them so that they're all the way around perfectly when I go to make my lentil. I don't know if I can do it or not, but we're going to try it. These have been sanded and buffed. This was just my first practice one, and it's not really cute, but it just was trying to figure out how to layer everything. And this one, I was trying to make a bicone, but boy, I squished it a little bit too much, so instead of having a nice little pillow shape, it flattened it. My son liked it, but you could see where it distorted from me trying to turn it into a bicone shape. So I'm still working on some canes. I haven't made any yet. I did make the bullseye, so you didn't have to watch all of that. And basically, I still want to make some ghost canes. So this one is going to end up being a swirl. But I don't think I want to put it through the pasta machine because I don't want it really thin. So we're just going to work it out here. And all this is a 2-inch square of white and two 2-inch squares of translucent. They are at the thickest setting. And we're just going to stretch it out just a little bit. And we're going to try and make a cane out of it. It's not a whole lot, as you can see. I didn't use a whole lot of clay. But I want it even. Okay, so we're going to start with this side, and I'm going to bevel it like that. And then hopefully I will be able to curl this up a little bit. And then I've got a bunch of purples and blues because that's probably my favorite combo to work with. But I need some coordinating colors to go with it. So this is probably just going to be a cane making today. And then the next video will be me actually trying to make some beads out of it. So if you guys could think of what colors would go great with this, that I could add for little accent pieces, please let me know in the comments. Okay, we're going to do the same over here. Let me back that up a little bit so I can get this into a bevel. Okay, I'm just going to wrap that like that. And now what? I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it. I don't think I wanted to swirl it all the way, and I did anyways. So I'm going to backtrack if I can. Or I might just leave this alone and get another piece of clay. Let's see if I can back it up a little bit. because I really wanted a tail on this one. All right, so I didn't get that. So this is just going to be a swirl. Plain and simple, a swirl. And I'm going to go ahead and make another, we'll make another piece here. And try it again. So things are so far okay today. I got Makita sitting right next to me. She doesn't normally come into the office. Oh, you heard that, huh? But she knows I had some leftover steak from dinner when we went out for my birthday. So I cut it all up and made it into a sandwich. And yes, I fed her some steak. I know steak won't hurt her. And it was a filet mignon. So I think she's good without any fat. Alright, so we're just going to leave this like that. Now I could turn it and make it into something funky if I wanted to. And I think I'll do that with this one. We have moments. I did call the vet today and I asked the doctor to call me. I do have his lab results, Bandits. I think I already told you. So he was very dehydrated. His hematocrit was up. Hemoglobin was up. His BUN was up. I don't know if his kidneys were shutting down. I don't know if it was because of the dehydration. So I've been wanting to call him ever since Vegas. And I finally decided to make that call today. I just want to know what happened, because everything happened so fast that I took all that information in. And yeah, it's buried in my head somewhere, and I don't know. I think with him talking to me one more time, maybe I can just finally put this to an end. Yes, I am having a very hard time coping. You know, I don't really know what to do about it, so I'm hoping this conversation will just allow me to let go of the blame and get this grieving process going, basically. So, okay. So this one, we're going to make it a double. I'm not going to make it in 4, because I think I have one already. I do have a bunch of ghost canes that were in storage, basically in my little bin, so I pulled those out. But this will be cute just on the end. And the reason I make a bunch of ghost canes is just to layer. You give the bead a lot of depth when you do this. Okay. So that's just an easy one. So let me grab some white, and I'll show you some of the other things I have on my table. I just need one. I just need 1 square of white and 2 of translucent. So again, it's at the thickest setting. All my clay is really crumbly. Really crumbly. I don't think I need any more, but I just need 1 square. And translucent. I know I have a bunch of translucent. This I always make sure I buy by the pound. White, black, translucent, gold, and pearl. And if you get this from SculpeyProducts.com, you're only getting these big pound for like $14.58, I believe I paid, which is so much cheaper than everywhere else. Their shipping is a little expensive if you don't let them know that you want it flat rate. So in my notes, I always say, please ship flat rate. And I usually get about $15 back. That's how it starts. I think the cheapest way that they ship is like $22. And I won't pay $22 for shipping. So they're really nice about, if you say ship this flat rate, they'll ship it flat rate for you. And then refund you for whatever they're over, or what they've charged you over. So SculpeyProducts.com is also known as Creative Wholesale. Some of you have ordered from them. But same company. I don't know why they have two different names. Same stuff. Hopefully it ties into each other, because if not, I could imagine inventory would be horrible to keep up with two sites. Alright, so let's try this one more time. Still feels weird doing videos without any dogs barking. It's just surreal. But again, it's our new normal. I hope it feels normal sometime soon. I have my moments. But I'm happy for good moments, you know? Okay, so basically, like I did before, I just want to kind of do that. Okay. So that we're going to put translucent right there. I'll make one more. Okay. So basically, I just want like that. So we're just going to take a chunk of translucent and fill up that gap. It's kind of be like scrolls or something like that, if I get it right. And if I don't, it'll become whatever it wants to become. Okay. So now I'm just going to flatten it. And let's see, I want to get 2 out of it. So I need this to go to 5 inches. Okay. I'm using a horrible blade as it is. And then I used the wrong side. All right. Okay, so now I just got to figure out how I want to do this. That's got to go longer. I don't know. If I want to just kind of I don't know yet. So if I make that like that, right? Or do I just want to kind of make that like that? Boy, that's my stomach making all kinds of noises, and I've already eaten. So something like that. So the only thing we'll have to do, it's going to be great for the base of the bead, a little bit more translucent, and we're going to make this into kind of like a box. And I'm not conditioning it, which might bite me. Makita left my office, so I don't know if she needs to go outside. So I might have to go run out there real quick. Make sure she don't have to go outside. Alright, so that's the way we're going to leave it. Okay. I don't know what this is going to look like, guys. I know what I had in my head, but I'm going to turn this like into a little square. And I'm going to work this as I'm walking down the hallway. I'm going to go open up the door and let Makita out. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we are just kind of reducing this a little bit. Because it's just going to be an embellishment. Again, I don't know what this is going to look like when we open it up, but God, I got to get me a different knife or blade, whatever you want to call them. I am not clay literate, obviously. Got all these blades and none of them are really sharp. Oh, God. All right, so those didn't turn out exactly how I wanted them. But again, it's just for embellishment. I mean, I knew what I wanted, but I didn't think it through, did I? Oh, well, what are you going to do? Okay, so we're going to set that aside. It'll probably look fine when it's just on the base. Okay, so the next one, I just got a strip of translucent and white. This I'm going to do absolutely nothing to. This is going to be just something that we can take a thin piece and just lay it, and you can kind of put it on the bead and kind of stretch it around so it's kind of wavy. So that's all I wanted to do with that, was make a cut of that, which is what I did. And that's just a regular spiral. We're going to leave that alone. Okay, now let's just move on to the colors. And this I just want to make like a, I don't know, kind of like a leaf. Not a leaf, just a petal. But I used a bullseye instead of Skinner blend on this. And I have so much cane, but I pulled out my container and looked at it, and I just can't see making focals out of them. I don't know what to do with them. So I think I'm going to bring those down because they're just a big chunk like this. And I might just split it in half and throw it on my website. So if you see that by Friday, that's where they went. So I'm never going to use it. And it's like, I'm trying to be good about what I make and using them into things, but I'm not having much luck with creating. One, two, three, four. So there's 4.5, which is where I want it. This can be a little thinner. So let's just go right there. And that's going to give us 3 pieces, right? Oops, and you're not even seeing this because my camera was off. I apologize for that. But all I did was take this little round thing, squish it into a square thing, and that was it. So you honestly did not miss much. My phone is down to about 20% here. So I've got it plugged in. And hopefully we don't run out of juice before this is over. Okay, so again, we're just going to thin this one out. Yeah, my turquoise was so hard. As you can see, it's starting to crack. I only have quiet for a certain amount of hours during the day with everybody gone, so I kind of rushed through making the canes real quick. Because you never know. So we got 1, 2, 3. Same amount of clay, yet seems like it's going to be harder to get this to 4.5 inches. I'm there now, but I need to thin it out just a little more. Ah, we're so close. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay. So I have 3 of each. Oh, I don't know if I want that blue. I'd like to keep the purple on the outside. And that's basically all we're going to do with this one. See, so just some simple little canes. And if you want, you can make it thicker or thinner. So I could cut this in half if I wanted to. And add more to them. But I don't want it like a flower petal. I want these kind of bold. So we're going to see what this looks like when we get to 3 inches. And I don't know if I want these to be rounded or not. I'm just cutting it in half, because usually when I work from the center out, so I don't worry about the ends. Okay, so you have that, or okay, I think I'm going to go one more. So this is where you could stop. This is where you can keep going. If I keep going and going and going, it will start to blend into each other, and it would make kind of like a watercolor, I think, effect to have a nice little flower petal. So you can just keep going if you want. But I will do that next week, because I still want to make that Asian focal. I have it in my head. I have a branch. I have some like cherry flowers. And I see it in my head. It's just now basically putting it down on clay, which is always the hardest part. Everything looks great in my head. And I'm not the best drawer, so I don't normally draw things out. I just go for it. That's just probably not the greatest thing to do, but okay. So there we go. Okay. So I think that'll be a little pretty strip. It's still bold, so. And then I've got this blue thing right here. I'd hate to waste it, so let's just cut it in half and we'll turn it into something, I guess. And then we'll start working on these canes over here. This could just be a tiny little cane, right? I'm just going to leave this one alone just like that. Okay, so what's next? I have got this nice little bullseye cane, and this is made from a Skinner blend of peacock pearl, white, and turquoise. Okay, and then I've got this strip here of black and white. And I'm literally just going to basically put around it. And now it's just figuring out how thick I want to make this. So I don't want to go too thick. And yes, you know, my eyes are horrible. So I have to eye it out. I just don't know if I made that too thick. It's probably going, oh, it's probably going to take the whole strip, I think. So I may need to make one more of these. You know what? I wonder if it would be easier. I've never tried it like this, but why not? I wonder if it would be easier if you basically laid it all down. You know what I mean? And then rolled that big chunk on it. And then when I don't use up, if I feel like wrapping up another one, I can. See if I can get like 3 more. Nope, this one's really thick. So this one, and that would make it too thin. Oi. Again, no planning can kind of kill you sometimes. But trying to make it not go in that same cut. And obviously we get to cut all this bad stuff off right here. So and I'm not going to worry about the top. So I know this isn't stuck together and this may not work, as you can see, but it was worth the try. So let me do this one more time. See if I can somehow lift it all up. I don't really care what the face looks like, because all you're going to see is the top cuts. You're not going to see any of this. Alright, so now, try that again. Boy, but when I pick it up with this, does not want to stay there. And it's all nice and even and everything. Oh, I don't think I have any printer paper or anything in front of me. Alright, well, we're just going to use this. Okay, maybe we'll start from this side. Or maybe I'm just going to lift it all up like that. And roll it. So, didn't even need that anyways, did I? Okay, so we want to cut right here. Wow. I butchered him up a little bit, didn't I? Okay. So I'm not going to worry about cutting the edges off right now. I'm just going to reduce it, and then we'll cut it off a little later. Oh my gosh, look at that. Makita's barking. Good girl, Makita. Never thought I'd be so happy with the dog barking, right? I still miss that little yip yap. But it's a start. Thank you, Makita. All right, so this, yes, we're going to reduce it very small. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The black and white, as you can see, is a little softer than the inside. So that kind of worries me, because I don't know if it's going to change that top part here. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce this, and then I will come back. Okay, so this is a really weird cane because I've got this little thing here that makes it kind of look like an hourglass. I have no idea what caused that. But I really like that finished cane. I know I got a little bit of air bubbles in there. I'm not happy about that. But I really like this cane. Got a lot of waste, unfortunately, because I rolled it. But it's okay, because we can use that clay as a base. So I'm not really worried. So now I'm just kind of like, right here is where the waste starts, I think. Well, actually not. So that's actually a little bit more that I could use. But since it's all round and stuff, I'm just going to come in here and kind of condense it a little bit. And I'm hoping that that'll work our little air bubble out. Okay. And then we're just going to leave this the way it is. And then we're going to make it a little smaller as well, so we have little dots. But I really like how this one turned out. There we go. So just a little bit of playing, you'll get your little air bubbles out. Okay, so we have another cane to play with. So now we have this, which I have this in my head as well. I don't know how well it's going to work. But I am going to turn this into a leaf, kind of a leafy looking thing. So I've got our normal plug, right? So we're going to wrap this. We're going to wrap it in a dark purple. But I'm going to add a little bit of a strip of white, a little strip of black, and then maybe a thin strip of dark purple. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to pull out some black. And I'm going to make this like an eggplant color. And I'm running it through the machine at a number 3 because boy, it blends so much faster than doing it at the thickest setting. But I might have to come in and get another, another package of purple, because I don't think this is going to do it twice. Part of me is thinking gold leaf would be nice, but the other part of me knows that these are going to be sanded, so it'd be a waste because the gold's not going to be in the inside of it. It's going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to be hanging around on the edges. So that's probably not going to work. All right. And I'm definitely going to need a little more purple. So let me grab another purple container and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, guys. So we put this as a number 2. Hopefully, with what's left over, I doubt it, but we'll have a little bit more if I decide to go over the black and white. All right, so let's get all this stuff out of my way. I never have a clean workbench, as you can see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little chunk off, and I'll show you why. Gonna make this into just as round as we can get it. And then this, we're going to put in the center. So basically, it's going to be like this. So we're going to have to bring this down about 1 3/4 inches. Okay. I may not have cut enough, but I'm hoping I did. So we're just gonna go I want this much thinner than that. I don't mind squishing the white. Alright, so now, see how center I can get this. You're going to hear me a little louder because I'm right next to the microphone. Okay. So we're going to bring this down a little bit. Okay, so there is our center of it. Okay, so now we're going to do a strip of white and a strip of purple, or a strip of white and black. And then we're going to turn this into a leaf, but it's going to be kind of a weird leaf. It's not going to be your normal leaf here. So, I'm going to run the whites through probably either a number 3 or a number 5. I'll see what a 3 looks like around it. Might be a little bit too thick. Alrighty. Hopefully I have enough. I'm going to go number 5. Barely see the line here. Okay, let's move that over. I'm not really worried too much about that, or the ends, because the ends are going to get all messed up anyways. Okay, and then I'm going to do a black. And I will probably make a black at a number 5 as well. I was debating whether I wanted it at a 5 or a 6. But I'm going to leave it. I have not made one of these in such a long time. And it's thin, so I'm hoping that it'll come right off. There we go. Ah, that didn't work very well. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Well, that was a mess, but it did what I needed it to do, I guess. And I'm still thinking of putting purple over it because I just hate working with black on the outside. It just seems to be, I don't know, messier, stickier. But now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Okay, so the only thing that I didn't do was I didn't put a little bit of purple down here, just so I have a registration line, right? So hopefully this won't be seen when it's done, but as you can see, it's going to keep me from folding wrong, basically, or reducing it wrong. So I'm going to reduce this, and I'm going to make, it's going to be a leaf, but I'm going to use these as individual petals. So that's going to be 2 one side, 4, so I'm going to need 6 pieces. 2 of them one size, another 2 smaller, and then another 2 a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce that off camera, and I'll be back when I'm ready. Alrighty guys, so this is what we got. So we have 2 large pieces right here. Okay, I'm going to put them separate here. Then we have 2 medium-sized pieces. And then we have our 2 small pieces. Okay, and we're just going to make sure that they hook up right at the end. And I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but let's see what that'll look like in between. Might not look too bad. We just need it a little bit longer. I was hoping I would have had a little longer here. Okay, we're just gonna try this. May not work. This one is definitely thinner than the other. And honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect. Gotta get that out of my head, all right? It's art. Art is supposed to be art. Although you see everybody else's art, and they all look perfect. So that's why I'm trying to get it perfect here. So we're just gonna lay this kind of like that. It's not gonna go all the way to the top. Okay, just enough to where we can like close it up. All right, so now if you want, you could add some purple in between some of these leaves to separate them. You don't have to. I'm just grabbing a thin strip of that dark purple. I don't need it on the, I guess I could put it on the top. You don't really need it, but I'll put some right here. Okay, so now we're just gonna kind of make this into a leaf. All right, so I'm gonna reduce this and then we'll come back and see what this darn thing looks like. Alrighty guys, so we're almost done for the day. I won't work on this until our next video, and I do want to make a couple Skinner blend leaves, so I'll probably do that, and then in about a week hopefully we'll be ready to make all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm cutting these in 2-inch strips. I'll probably make some of these a little smaller. So let me get you this leaf shape, as shaped as a leaf. And you can go square, you can go round. It doesn't matter. Okay, there is the leaf we just made. It's a little different, right? Which is kind of what I'm going for. and if you round it out, you know, you just got some interesting little pieces in there. This would make a really cool something if you wanted to literally put all of this together. Oh, could you imagine that as a kaleidoscope cane, guys? Well, obviously it would look a lot better than this, but you see where I'm going there? That would look really cool. So who knows, I might actually take, okay, you know what, before we go, I'm not going to need all of these for a cane. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try, all right, let's see what we can get out of this. If we can get this to, we could only do, I mean, we could just take it at 1 inch. Okay, now let's take one more, and that leaves me with 3. I am good with that. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Nope, let's get a smaller one. Okay. It's about the same size, I think. I hope. All right, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Go 1, 2, and 3. I don't have anything for the center. Okay, so you can do 2 of them, squish those together, leave it just like that. Or you could make them in 4s. Or, as you can see, got them in 6s. Wow. Okay, we might have to do this again and literally make this into a nice kaleidoscope cane. This one's just a little bigger than all the other ones. So let's go ahead and make this down just a little bit more. It's getting a little soft. And we just want to slip it right into there. Okay, so that kind of looks all lined up. Okay, so let's see what happens. And that's sometimes how ideas are born, right? So I'm glad I made that a big cane to where I had a little bit of extra to do that with. And I hope what I did was understandable so that you can go ahead and make one as well. How I'm going to use this, I don't know. It's just basically my problem. I won't go too small with it. So let me just get this kind of even. Cutting it might not be easy because it's pretty soft. But as usual, I will take it out of the center. And there you go. Wow, that's a really nice kaleidoscope cane. Alrighty, so for today we've got those. We've got these. We've got this. We got a really weird, oh no, we got a spiral. What else did we make? We made a regular leaf if we just want it, like that. And we've got that. Is that all that I'm missing? Well, we got that weird squared, funky looking one. So we might have to figure out what we're going to do with that. But those are all of our canes, I think, that we made today. So thanks for watching, guys. We have one more day of putting a bunch of canes together. Just little components like this. And maybe a couple of leaves. And then somehow we're going to try and assemble them into something really cute. So we will see you then. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the big mess. But as you know, that's just the way it is with me. So we will talk to you next time. Bye.